Hey everybody, welcome to Unlocking the Magic. You're listening to episode 264. We are doing our Walt Disney World trip recap, part 2 today.
Part 2. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Yeah, we do this little podcast here for you every week. And we just got back from a couple of long trips, so we're going to share with you what happened on our recent visit to Walt Disney World.
We've got Hollywood Studios to cover today. We've got the Skyliner to cover. We have so much to talk about. I'm so excited. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm always ready. The Skyliner was a big topic for us before we left. People trying to get me to go on it. Did I go on it or did I not go on it?
Did you or didn't you?
If you follow us on Instagram, you know the answer. But if you're just listening to this podcast, you're going to have to wait for a little bit to get the answer.
The trip really, it was a full trip. It was a full Walt Disney World vacation. Like, we were there for a week, but it seemed to fly by. Like, it always amazes me that, number one, it goes by so quickly, and number two, that no matter how many times we visit, we somehow end up walking away with new memories and new experiences, which I feel like that's the goal, right? And
I think so.
To walk away feeling like you had done something different in some ways. It's like a comforting place to me, Walt Disney World, because you know what you can get, especially staying on resort. You're no matter if it's value, moderate, or deluxe, you're going to end up at a Walt Disney World resort and it's going to be great.
Right.
So that's really comforting to me. But it still surprises me that no matter how many times we go, we walk away with a different kind of thought, memory, share, whatever.
I think that now when we go, I try to do that. I try to do things like when I have a list of what I want to do when we go on a trip, it's always something that either we haven't done a lot in the past, because there's not a lot we haven't done, but there's always something that I want to do that we didn't get the chance to do last time.
Well, yeah, but what surprises me still is, like, sometimes we go on these attractions that we've been on, I feel like at this point 100 times, and I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that before, whatever attraction it might be.
Well, that's what happens. Even when you watch movies, like, there's always that part in a movie that you catch after you've seen it 14 times, and you're like, I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's so fun to me. Especially, actually, we were on Tower of Terror, which I'll talk about later, but I wanted to point out that I showed you something on the attraction when we were going through the hotel. The girl is holding a Mickey doll. And I pointed out to you, like, you had no idea. I thought for sure you knew.
No.
That she was holding a Mickey doll, but you were like, wait, where?
I don't know, but our daughter has been watching videos on...
Not ours.
No, not ours, for sure. She's definitely not watching
She's
ours.
helping others with their views.
View count. She's watching videos, and she must have pointed out a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of facts about the park, which was cool because she was interested and she was learning not just about, like, the fastest ride.
Yeah.
But she was like, oh, did you know that this is why this is here?
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that was our youngest, which I think I've talked about this before, but now that our kids are older, it surprises me that they still show an appreciation for, like, Walt Disney himself, the parks. And honestly, lately I feel like they're more and more kind of going back to that message that we try to share, which is, like, slow down and take in the little things. I don't mean, like, slow down at a snail's pace. Like, I think that there's...
Yeah, you do.
Well, I like to walk slow.
We're literally always waiting for you to catch up to us.
But I just mainly want it's like mindset. And I think that that's one of the things that surprises me is that, like, sometimes even myself, like, sometimes with the hustle and bustle of Walt Disney World, you kind of tend to forget. And they always, like, remind me. And I think I, like, really feel proud because I'm like, wow, they're finally listening to us. And, like, when you talked about our youngest pointing out things, I thought that was really cool about this trip is that she's super active. She's our youngest. She's a little bit of, like, a monkey. And she was the one pointing things out that I would have missed. And I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. I like the snacks. But I have to say, it was really busy.
You like the snacks?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to eat the snacks.
I love how you just slipped that in there.
Yeah, I slipped it in there. Like, last episode, I said something, too. I slipped in there by accident.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always doing that.
A little,
couple things.
Yeah.
Little, mentions before we get started on the podcast and really get into it. Announcing the winner for not last week since we didn't do one last week, 2 weeks ago. No, was it last week episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last week's show about the Animal Kingdom we talked about. I'm going to announce the winner later on in this episode.
Yeah.
We'll have a new winner for this one.
Perfect.
Later on in the show, we'll share how you can enter to win. probably something similar like we did last week, but we always have to do the podcast in order to find out what the repeating word is going to be.
Yes.
And a couple shout outs as well.
What are they winning again?
A t-shirt of their choice.
All right.
By the way, I'm working. So thank you so much. I got a lot of emails from people who are designers who heard me mention that we need a designer on the podcast. I've been emailing a few people. I found one individual, and we're working on a couple new shirts. I'm excited to announce.
Didn't you want to like choose everybody that emailed you? Like that, I felt so bad because there was so many talented people. Can we use everybody?
I mean, listen, if everybody joins Patreon, we can.
All right, perfect.
But ultimately, this show doesn't produce a ton of income, so we're trying to keep it to a minimum of cost spend here.
Gotcha.
All right, we don't have anything really to sell.
Okay.
And we don't really do anything to make money for this podcast. So
okay, perfect.
Well, I wish we could hire everybody, but unfortunately we can't. But thank you all who emailed us, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of projects we work with on the future. So I'm going to keep everybody's email who sent us one and kind of
that was my point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case something comes up that we have an opportunity for you, we'll definitely reach out. But I appreciate everybody's help and emails.
But you were saying that we're working on a new shirt.
I have two new shirts that I'm working on.
Okay.
And probably be launching in the next week or two. We'll have an announcement over on Instagram if you want to check it out.
Likely.
We've been going back and forth. The Matt is the name of the guy we're working with. I'm not going to give his company yet because I'm not sure if he wants me to.
Okay. I was like, wait, why?
But we've been going back and forth, and he's done a two shirt I had in mind, two shirts.
Oh,
and
God.
he sent me two rough drafts, and he pretty much nailed it on the first two. But it's super cool. I'm super excited for the two shirts I have coming out.
I have literally no input or say on these shirts. Like I haven't seen them really. I saw one that was good, but I'm like a little worried about the second one because I have no idea what that is. So.
It's going to be great. Do you like the Team Tonga shirt?
Yeah.
Then you're going to like this one.
All right.
So that's it for me.
Okay.
Let's get into this episode and talk about how busy it was at the Magic Kingdom when we were there.
So
and
much.
Hollywood Studios.
All right. We're going to start with Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Because we have a lot. Actually, we have some sad news to share about Hollywood Studios. We did not make it in time for Rise of the Resistance.
No, it's a whole process.
It's not only a whole process, which you definitely need to plan out ahead of time. Was tough on us because we had just arrived we had a late flight to Walt Disney World. And then immediately the next day we went to Animal Kingdom, and we haven't, I feel like, done a full day open to close in Animal Kingdom in a while. So by the end of that night, I just knew. I was like, oh gosh, our kids are going to be exhausted. And they were like pretty pumped. They wanted to go. I knew Bruce was out from the get-go. So it's kind of like, all right, well, maybe if I set my alarm, we'll make it. Well, my alarm didn't go off, which I think... Did you have a part with that?
I may or may not have unplugged it.
Okay.
Or hit the snooze button many times.
Perfect. But it was also the one day that Florida decided to be like New England weather-wise. It
was brutally cold.
It was freezing. It was raining. It was like 30 or 30 mile an hour winds and raining sideways.
Yeah, exaggerating a little bit there.
It was bad. I'm not exaggerating. Is it because I was miserable? I was really miserable.
Yeah, you were definitely Debbie Downer on that one.
I was literally walking from, did we drive? Yeah, we drove that day from the parking lot. And I was like the last one in the park. I was so upset because I was just not prepared for that weather. And I know, like, we've been there so many times in February. I know to prepare ahead of time with weather like this. It can happen, but
we've never seen it that. Well, I mean, we've seen it cold, but I don't know. It just happened to feel like a New England day, but it wasn't bothering our kids. Like
it wasn't bothering you or the kids.
No, we were just like, you know what? Let's just make the most of it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not snowing, and it wasn't. Connie's exaggerating about the rain. It was like misting a little.
It was bad.
So we were going on things, and we just left Connie in the dust.
But I gotta say, they did do that, and it was kind of a good thing because I just needed like a timeout. I put myself in timeout basically, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of my grouchy morning because I think it was just a combination of things. We missed Rise of Resistance. It was like the second day in Walt Disney World. It was cold. Whatever. But after after I put myself in timeout, I regrouped and I thought, you know what? I got to listen to the kids. And Bruce, believe it or not, was like in a super good mood. And I was like, Not that you never are.
I was going to say, believe it or not, what is that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, like, usually when it's cold, you're like
yeah,
angry.
I do not
Sorry.
want it to be cold.
I wanted to clarify.
It's
that.
like when you live in New England, there's these days that goes by, and in the summertime, you can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, because it's sunny out, you know, it gets sunny and bright pretty early. You know it's kind of warm outside. You can get up and get going. When it's cold in the wintertime, you just do not want to get out of bed. And it just so happened that this day in Florida was that particular kind of day.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify.
That being said, as much as I want to go on Rise of the Resistance, in newsflash, we went to Disneyland, and we'll have to share that later.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to get on Rise of the Resistance, not knowing we were going to go to Disneyland, by the way.
Yes.
I have no desire. I have more desire to sit behind somebody in the baggage line who has 4,800 zippers than I do get up at 5:30 in the morning to go to Hollywood Studios and wait in line for an hour and a half to get into the park for a chance to possibly get on Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Fully noted. But I got to say, after I put myself in timeout, I said to myself, Connie, you know what? You got to practice what you preach here. You got to switch your mindset up. You got to get in a good mood.
Switch it up.
Switch it up. And guess what? As soon as I
switched it up and became mediocrely happy.
I became mediocrely happy. And then I scored sci-fi dine-in theater reservations. And it was like
something to look forward to.
I was done. I was so happy at that point. It was like, as soon as I changed my mindset, good things started happening. So I was really happy about that. We can talk about that. But you mentioned, we talked about Disneyland, but we got to talk about Galaxy's Edge in Walt Disney World when we were there. I wasn't too excited to see it when it was raining, but after noon when it stopped, especially when the lights went down, and it's truly a magical place. Like, it was really, I think, because it was misting, I couldn't fully appreciate the land when I was kind of running through, and the way they had it blocked off from Toy Story Land, like you couldn't walk through from Toy Story. It was like a little bit clustered.
Yeah.
But at night, the crowds kind of dissipated a little bit, and you were able to actually see everything so clearly. It was beautiful. I really loved it.
I enjoyed it too. And they do a really good job of lighting, so at night you can take really good photos, even if you're not a photographer.
Yeah.
Using your phone, like, it's very possible to do that. It was quite crowded, and I have to say, there's something happening.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop the podcast.
Why is that?
Because there's a whole lot of people going to Disney World.
Yeah.
We need to stop. We need to start having this more negative.
More negative show?
Yeah,
I like
let's
that.
do a negative podcast.
Okay.
So that way everybody doesn't want to go to Disney.
Got it.
And then maybe we'll have a chance to walk around without bumping into people every 2 days.
I should have just recorded the day it was raining.
Yeah, you should have did a podcast on that day. It would have been
I think it
wouldn't have been a very positive podcast.
No. In my defense, it's one thing for it to be raining in Florida. It's a whole nother ball game when it's raining, freezing, and windy.
But that being said, during the day it was very busy, and it was hard to really get a feel for what the land was like, especially your first time there. When you enter, it's almost like they do such a good job of making you so immersed in the land that you have a hard time figuring out where you are or where to go. And when it's really busy, it's even harder.
I didn't love it when it was busy. Like, I think that if you can see it in the evening, it's a little, I don't know, visually, it just pops.
Yeah.
But and also it's less crowded to me.
Yeah.
But it's still, and I mean, they really did an amazing job with this park and the land. I was really impressed. I wish that, and this could have been because we were at a busy day, that they closed off the entrance from Toy Story Land. Like, you couldn't walk. So it kind of felt congested because you had to walk all the way around.
Right.
But that might change, or they might do that differently if it's not as busy. I just don't remember a day where it's not busy in Walt Disney World anymore. But
apparently there isn't any. Well, I mean, we did go. It was, school vacation, and many people on Twitter remind me of this. School vacation, and it was marathon weekend. I get it.
Yeah, it was busy.
And I said from now on, I do not care about school.
Nope.
Kids at home, not talking to you.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Talking about, I'm not going to Disney World on school vacations. Mm-hmm. Mark my words. I'm going on off days.
They're marked, but
I will write a letter to the teachers and tell them why we have to go on non-school days, and we'll learn something while we're there.
Okay.
But kids at home, if you need a pass, let me know. Email me, info@unlockingthemagic.com. We'll write you a letter for school.
If you want Bruce to, I don't know if Bruce should be writing, but yeah.
Definitely, probably not.
Yeah, no.
Connie will write it for you.
What'd you think of Smuggler's Run?
I enjoyed that a lot.
First time we got to ride this. It was very cool. I would say it's similar to, okay, it's not similar to. If you're going to compare it to something, I would say it's like that Star Tours feel, but it's like amplified times 10.
If you are the pilots.
Yeah. You think that that's the better seat? The
Definitely.
pilot seat? That's interesting.
I wasn't the pilot either time because we have 3 kids, and no matter what card you choose, they get the pilot.
They swap it out.
So I wasn't the pilot. Neither was Connie on either trip. And I do have to say, it did look like fun if you are the pilot. It's not as if you're not the pilot, you won't enjoy it. But I feel like
I didn't know these feelings until now.
Yeah, I feel like it's triple the excitement if you get to be the pilot.
I'm sad for you. Like, I didn't know. You should have told me. I would have told the kids, like, listen, guys, Dad really wants to be the pilot.
I want to be the pilot, man. Like, listen, sitting in the back seat, pushing a bunch of buttons on the wall is fine. But I want to be the pilot.
I got to say, so we're a family of 5, and the attraction holds 6. So we always had one single rider with us, but it wasn't awkward. Like, I thought it would be. I thought
Not
it would
for
be.
you.
Oh, it was awkward.
It's always awkward for me.
What?
You have to be on Team Talks if you are the single rider.
Maybe.
There is no team. You're not on Team Tonga by choice. Like, you can be if you want, but you are definitely a partner in Team Talks if you are the single person with a family of 5.
Okay.
You have to be.
At least our family or me or what?
I just think that that's your personality as the single rider.
Okay, you can't be like antisocial.
Like, I would never, ever, 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 ever
never
go on single rider.
On this particular one?
On any ride.
Oh.
Unless I was guaranteed not to sit with anybody.
I feel like this one's a little more intimate because you're forced to be like.
No, wait a second. More intimate than literally touching knees with somebody on an attraction?
Like the Rock and Roller Coaster? Yes. Which I had a blast with, by the way. God, I wish I got her name, but it was the first time she had ridden.
Yeah.
She was so nervous. And I had so much fun with her. Oh, man, I wish I got her name.
Totally
I could give
fine.
her a shot at.
I like, listen, if you want to do the single ride, like, you would go on single ride, no problem.
Yeah, I'm always like wanting to.
That's why that's why it's available. But people like me,
no, thank you.
We'll wait in line a little bit longer.
All right. I took some really good photos of Smuggler's Run. People were messaging me that had never been to Walt Disney World, and they were like, sold. We need to go.
Yeah, it does. It's very photogenic at night.
It is. All right. Next, what about, so speaking of Rock and Roller Coaster, we hadn't gone on that in a while. Do you think that Aerosmith and then the pre-show has been there, done that, or how do you feel about that? Because I know there was rumors that might change.
I mean, seeing Steven Tyler from 25 years ago is something, he doesn't look like that anymore.
Well, I'm always thinking about, because, things change in the parks, but
I think there's certain attractions that are nostalgic that should, if at all possible, and I know that you need to change things in the park, should stay. Yeah. This one is not one of those.
This you can live
I have no nostalgic feeling for Rock and Roller Coaster. If they wanted to retheme it to a non-Aerosmith theming, but keep like the ride itself,
well, yeah,
totally fine with that.
Totally fine. Aw, poor Tyler.
I do like that it's Boston based because
I was just gonna ask you, like, it's like, aren't they from Boston?
But again, I have no love lost for Boston. It's cold.
Clearly,
here. It's cold here. What are you gonna do? But like, we haven't been on that in a long time, so it was good to get back on that.
I had a lot of fun. I don't know if it's because I sat with that person that had never been on the attraction before, and I was just kind of telling her what to expect, and she asked me, does it go upside down? I'm like, no.
You lied?
No, I didn't. Oh. I told her the truth. You would have lied.
Yeah. I definitely got a couple tips from people who have messaged us, like, shrug your shoulders a little bit, so that way when they put the thing down or you put the thing down, it doesn't like
crush you.
Not so much crush you, but push down so much that you feel like you're claustrophobic and you can't move.
So did you enjoy it a little bit more?
Yeah. Plus I left it up like 6 inches, so I felt like I was gonna fall out at any second.
All right, let's not promote that piece of it, but I had a lot of fun on that. I had a lot of fun this time at Hollywood Studios on the Tower of Terror. Like, I always talk about this. I love that attraction. I love the queue. I love the storyline. I love everything about it except the drop. But this time, the drop was just as thrilling, but I enjoyed it. Like, I had so much fun. I don't know if it's because I think this was the first time I've ever gone on Tower of Terror with you. Like, you sat next to me.
Really?
Yeah. You were always either, like, in the front or, like, with our youngest. we're always separated. But this time I was sitting next to you, and I maybe felt like more safe. I don't know, but I felt like I had so much fun. We went on that a few times.
Oh yeah, I did feel a little like somebody was encroaching on my seat.
Sorry about that.
That was you?
Yeah, sorry.
You like very much leaning onto my seat.
Where is the bag? Like, where do you put your stuff on that? Like, the thing that surprises me about this attraction is I could have sworn that at one point there was a space to put your stuff, and now there's like, you kind of just have to hold on to your belongings.
I love the fact that like your bag can float in the air.
I don't like that.
I like it.
I just can't figure that one out.
Hold on to your valuables.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what do I do with my phone? Wouldn't fit in my purse. I don't know how.
You gotta hold on to it.
It was a major fail. All right. I talked about earlier about scoring the sci-fi dine-in theater, and that is something also we haven't done in a while. I know we've reviewed that in the past, but we've talked about it as one of our favorites, but I think it was really great that we got the opportunity to eat there again, because I feel like we talk about it so much, but we haven't visited in a while. One thing I gotta say is just keep checking that app. You can also go to the restaurant itself if there's nothing available. Sometimes they might be able to fit you in, so it's worth a shot if you really want to eat there. I thought the food was okay. Just okay. Like, I don't feel like the food is out of this world, best burger I've ever eaten, but it's more about the experience.
It's a great place, and somebody said this on Twitter or Facebook. It's a great place to eat with your family without having to be with your family.
Right? Like, sometimes you need that.
Definitely.
Like, after a long day walking around and doing everything, it's nice to be together but separate.
This is, that's it. You just nailed it. Like, so if you do get the cars, there's probably 2 people that can fit in each car. We just happen to get a 3-seater.
Yeah.
So like the 2 youngest ones were up front. The middle one got to be by the older one got to be by herself, and me and you in the back. And it's just a place, like you said, they don't have the amazing food. Like, it's not going to knock your socks off. But if you get a burger or a sandwich and a shake, and you could just sit there and kind of relax and absorb the environment that you're in, that's what makes it an amazing experience for you. And like everybody, you can talk to your kids who are right in front of you, but you don't have to talk to them if you don't want to.
Literally, like, you can just leave them be.
And sometimes they leave you be. Like, they'll just sit there alone and talk to each other, and it's like, you know what? You can see them, they're with you, so you know they're fine, but they're not bothering you at all. It's
funny because the table next to us, they had young kids. I think they had 4 kids maybe with them. There was a lot.
4 or 5.
There was a lot of kids in front.
I was impressed with the amount of children they had and how they were, like, their kids were pretty well behaved.
Well, they were all young too. But I was watching them because I was curious to see how, like, I remember bringing our kids when they were younger, but like, it's still kind of, it was so long ago, it seems like. So I was watching them, and they all held their own. I think the one thing to note is that the waitress will talk directly to your kids. So you might want to consult with them before they start ordering stuff off the menu.
That is true.
Because sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, we ordered fried pickles? Like, I don't remember. Like,
what are these 6 shakes for?
Yeah, so that's one thing. But it's nice that the hostess will like leave kind of the parents alone a little bit too. Like, they try to treat your kids like not adults, but like they'll talk directly to them. So if your kids are very shy, keep that in mind. Or if they're overly confident and slip some extra stuff on your order.
Right. That's 2 good points right there. If they're shy, help them out. If they're overly confident, watch them. Maybe grab their menu for them and order for them. One thing about that, we did eat almost we probably were one of the last reservations, which made it awesome because you get to enjoy the whole park. And I think our reservations were, the park closes at 9, so we only missed about a half hour of park time, but we got to enjoy our meal, and then like walking out of Hollywood Studios after everything's kind of closed down and everybody's leaving is pretty awesome.
I have mixed feelings about that because I've always preferred the late night dining for that reason, but also sometimes it's like hard for me to wait that long to eat. So I feel like by the time we get there, that
is kind of true. Yeah.
I'm either not. So like I have mixed. I guess it just depends on your family, but I thought it was really. Like, the dim lighting, it really makes you feel like you've gone back in time to an old drive-in theater. It just makes everyone in your family, like, just calm. Like, the lighting and the...
My only one suggestion I would add, if I had to change one thing, the one thing I would change would be to add a little bit more Disney into the movie that they show.
See, I'm I'm loving it the way.
And
it
I don't
is.
mean like Disney cartoons. I mean like Walt himself. Walt loves space.
Well, he was in it. He's in it.
But he's in it for like 2 seconds.
I think that's all you need.
I think there could be like 8 seconds. That would be
all right,
preferable.
fine. 8 seconds we can agree with.
Yeah.
A little more. All right, I get it. I mean, I love it. I'm super into that.
What are your thoughts on Toy Story Land?
My thoughts on Toy Story Land, way cool at night. During the day, it was raining, so I feel like it's hard for me to give like a full review as far as my experience goes because I was grouchy.
Yeah.
I really loved Slinky Dog Dash, like way more than I thought I would.
We should do a whole show worth the wait. We need to do an updated version of Worth the Wait.
Yeah.
But real quick, Slinky Dog Dash, worth the wait.
Yes.
Me too. I thought that was a great, cute attraction. I would wait for that.
It's actually like a pretty good lengthwise attraction. It's not very short, and it's just enough of the thrill where I feel like it will entertain a lot of people in different age regions. Like that's what I thought was cool about it.
Yeah.
Like it was just thrilling enough, right?
Yep. Our daughter was actually the one who I'm typing here. So hold on a second.
We'll wait.
Our daughter was actually the one. There's a couple Easter eggs when you get on to the roller coaster on Slinky Dog Dash. There's a couple hidden Mickeys there.
Yeah.
She was actually the one. I shared them on Instagram, see if people could see them.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually one that pointed out to me all those videos that she was watching. She's like, Dad, did you know, can you find the hidden Mickey? And I'm like, no, I can't. Just tell me where it is.
Give Dad a break.
Yeah, she totally pointed that out. So if you followed us on Instagram, you saw that.
Aw.
That was G.
G's doing all the homework.
G was doing all the homework on that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought is really cool at night. I think the lights, the big Christmas lights that they have. So I have like a wicked nostalgic on those because my dad used to buy like the jumbo lights and put them all around our house during Christmas time. So whenever I see those type of lighting, I just get really happy inside.
Did you? Oh, you didn't go on Aliens Swirling Saucers.
That was during my timeout.
That's where we were like. So the wait time for that was 45 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
It was about 45 minutes, and that's like right on the verge of whether I'm gonna do it or not.
Yeah.
Especially the only thing that pushed me over the edge was it's in Toy Story Land. We've never been. It's a new attraction.
Okay.
The girls wanted to go on, so I was like, all right, I'll wait with you. But I was like very much almost not waiting.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what? I have to say, I think 40 minutes will probably be my limit for that moving forward after riding it. I thought it was a cute ride.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Did you ride with our youngest, or how did you fit?
I ride with the youngest. Yeah, there was two of us.
Okay.
It was the two older
girls.
daughters in one, and then me and G in the other.
Okay.
And if you've been to California Adventure, there's Mater's attraction.
Yeah.
It's very much similar to that.
So like the spinning.
Yeah, like you kind of like, it's not necessarily spinning like the teacup spinning, but it kind of like slings you around.
That's fun.
Yeah, so it was kind of fun. It was a good, cute attraction. I enjoyed it. It was kind of quick.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would wait more than 40 minutes for that attraction, but if you
Yeah.
have little kids, they're gonna really enjoy that one.
Okay. Again, like a little bit like the thrilling, giggling. Like I feel like as long as you leave an attraction with some kind of thrill, sometimes the wait seems to, you forget about how long you waited. That's what I feel.
It's one of those attractions where you think it's going to not be as thrilling, and all of a sudden it just whips you around. You're like, whoa.
Didn't expect
It's
it.
not like teacups where you have total control over
Okay.
how much you spin.
Got it.
And like if you go on the teacups with me, you're gonna
Yes.
you're gonna have a really fun time, and you're gonna really not feel good after.
You should not eat before you go on the teacups with Bruce.
But you have total control over that.
Got it.
This is kind of like the motion of the attraction itself.
Got it. Okay. All right. I like it. I'm sad that it was. I did have to put myself in timeout to get into a better mood. But I'm glad you guys experienced it. I really am. I think so overall. Toy Story Land. It's a little smaller than I thought. Actually, a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it was a little smaller. Maybe not so much smaller, but things seem to be right on top of each other in a way. Like.
I think it just was so crowded.
Maybe that's why.
I think like you can't really take into consideration either Star Wars Land. I know it's not called that. In Toy Story Land.
It's always going to be called that to you.
Right.
But whatever.
I don't think you can take into consideration how big they felt because it was just so crowded.
Maybe, yeah.
I think you're going to have to experiment with those things in a year.
Okay.
After they've been around. Like Star Wars Land and Disneyland.
It's less crowded.
Didn't feel as claustrophobic and felt a lot more spacious because there was 100,000 less people in it.
Yeah. Yeah. But overall, I say it was really good. Again, another place I like to visit at night. This is why I think that the after hours are worth it in a lot of ways. It's not even the fact that there's less people, but it's just like something magical really happens. There was a quote that Walt Disney said about something magical happening in Disneyland, and I think similar thing.
No, it wasn't a quote. It was a video. He talks about it on. It was a Christmas video that we shared on Instagram or Facebook.
Quote. I mean, he said it. I guess.
He was talking about. They were showing Disneyland at Christmas, and he was eating popcorn.
Yeah,
and he's like, "There's just something magical that happens at night in Disneyland."
Yeah,
and it's true. And that's one of the good benefits of going in the winter is that it gets darker earlier.
Yeah,
so you get to experience the nighttime there a little bit longer. Like if you go in July, unless it stays open till midnight, if the park closes at 9 or 10 though, on one of those days, it's only going to be dark for about an hour.
I actually prefer Walt Disney World at night than I do Disneyland.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think Walt Disney World has just a lot more things. Maybe because they knew that a lot of people liked things at night in Disneyland, that they brought more attention to detail. Like if you think about it, like in a lot of the attractions like Toy Story Land, like when those lights are
right. Yeah, definitely they have the time on their side where they can learn from past experiences.
That's what I think.
I still think they should open Tom Sawyer's Island at night. That would be amazing.
Can we do that?
We played hide and seek on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah.
I have video of it.
That's
actually.
Not in Hollywood Studios, but I know, have to
but
talk
I'm just
about
saying,
it. No, I don't know. Yeah.
One attraction that's not available at night is Tom Sawyer's Island, but I think it should be.
Totally.
Flashlight tag on Tom Sawyer's Island should be a thing.
That is definitely... That would be epic.
Now, next week, Disney's going to start charging. It's going to be an after-hours experience. Flashlight tag on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Can you...
Now available for $99.99 per person, with a cupcake included.
Right. You know they listen to the show. Come on, Disney. Just admit it.
Somebody said something on Twitter where... I know I keep mentioning
they did a whole video on Tonga Toast.
Yeah. Listen, if you are going to do a promo video on Tonga Toast, which nobody's ever seen in their life...
In 2020.
You better tag us and give us some credit.
Thank you. Come on now.
They're like, wow, this Tonga Toast is like one of our most popular items ever. I wonder why that is. It's because of us. It's because of me.
It's because of you.
Me.
All right. So what else? To recap Hollywood Studios, because we're going really far. I also want to talk about our day off that we had during this trip.
There's more?
Yeah, there's a whole...
I thought the show was almost over.
Are you kidding? No, we haven't even talked about our day off yet or anything. That's why I said it's going to be it's going to be like trip recap times 30.
I may need a day off before we talk about the day off.
Really? It's really quick. All right. Hollywood Studios, it was a great day.
Fantastic.
Even though it was raining, just prepare yourself. I think so for our day off after we did 2 parks back to back. I gotta say, the one takeaway I have about this vacation is that I really love having a day off in between parks. And it's just because I feel like I can go and get refreshed, and then I feel rejuvenated and excited again. Like I was really excited to go to, of course, Animal Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios, but having a day off in between really just helps us. As a whole. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna be brutally honest.
You weren't listening.
I was doing something and I wasn't paying attention that much.
But we decided to. So we had a day off. We actually, at this point of our trip, we stayed off property, which is another thing I learned on this vacation, was that while we've had great experiences staying off property in the past, I think I really like either staying put where I am, like wherever it is going to be, either off property or on. I don't necessarily love resort hopping. I finally figured that out.
Maybe we just resort hopped a little bit too much.
I think
maybe one move would be better than
we did
2
3.
or 3. Yeah.
We did 3 this trip. I just never really felt settled, and part of the vacation feeling to me is feeling settled, and I didn't enjoy that part of it. I wish we stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I agree.
Anyway, I mean, even if we didn't, I wish we just planned to stay at one place.
I still agree.
All right, riding Skyliner. I know everybody has been waiting for this review. We finally got to ride, and we got to talk about it because
Connie freaked out more than I did.
Thank you, Bruce.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Connie really freaked out on the Skyliner. It is high.
It's really high.
I know that the monorail is high as well. It just has a different security feel.
Yeah.
When you're dangling from a cord versus sitting on the monorail.
Especially the trip, the first few days where we were there, it was a really windy few days. So like there was a breeze happening.
I have to say, even though you don't have to sneak Joffrey's off, I still like to sneak it in my bag just so I can feel like I am.
I actually asked a cast member. I was like, I just went right up to her and I said, "Excuse me, can you bring drinks onto this ride?" And she said, "Oh, is it a ride?"
No.
Okay.
The Skyliner?
Yeah.
It's transportation.
Whatever. I said ride when I was talking to her, and she said, "You can bring drinks. They just cannot be alcoholic." And I was like, okay. So I felt really happy.
In her brain, she's like, because you may get stuck on there for an hour and a half, so you might need some sort of hydration.
You think she was thinking that?
Totally. She's like, of course you can bring a drink. You may get stuck on there for 2 hours, so how could we say no?
That to me, having Joffrey's right nearby was really cool. And okay. So lift off on the Skyliner. I freaked out a little bit. I actually have it on video and I shared it on Patreon. It was a little more rocking in the wind than I anticipated. But once we started going and we were like halfway to our destination, I was like really comfortable. Yeah. And that's when I started sipping my Joffrey's. There's a picture of Joffrey shared of me sipping their coffee. And that was enacting. I was really comfortable.
I don't know if I was ever comfortable on there.
No?
No. Like, I wasn't uncomfortable, but there's always a bit of uneasiness when you're that high in a basket.
Yeah. We didn't ride with another family. They're not that big. So that's the one thing I guess that would really turn me off, is that if I had to ride with a couple other people, you're going to have to make friends fast. And I'm okay with that. I'm just not sure I'm okay with sitting next to Bruce and having to do that. No,
I definitely don't, because I don't want to do that.
It's intimate.
And somebody asked us, I think that they were, at the time we were going on, it was kind of afternoon time, morning, afternoon. Mm-hmm. There was people in front of us that were just 2 people that they would let on there all alone. So I bet you that during the rush or busy hours, they're probably trying to get as many people on as they can. But if you're just trying to check it out and maybe not going to the park super early and you want to just check out the Skyliner as a family, if you go in the afternoon, you'll probably be able to go on there alone.
So what we did, we actually made it like a whole trip.
I just started coughing super loud.
Why is that?
So then no one would want to go on with me.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Sneezing and coughing.
One thing I really liked about it was that it seemed easier than any other transportation, because it felt like you just got to your destination. There was no...
That was... You know what? That's a huge bonus right there. There's no waiting at a stop, really. I mean, from when we went on. And, getting on the bus, waiting for everybody to load on and load off.
It's like really quick.
Yeah, it keeps it moving.
So like when it is moving, it's moving quickly. And I like that. Hopefully there's no more people getting stuck.
What are you trying to say when it is moving? What are you trying to say there?
I don't know, because I'm just like...
What's the hitting meaning behind that sentence?
I guess the monorail has stopped on us a few times. Right?
Yes.
Like we've not necessarily stopped.
More than a few times.
We've been sitting... I don't know, with my nerves, I was surprised of how like nervous I was. I don't know if I could handle sitting up.
By the way, we were on the monorail a lot this time. It always smelled like horses when we were on there.
Why is that?
Like a horse farm. What's going on in there? What are they transporting at night, overnight on the monorails that it smells like horses on there?
You need to find out.
Somebody needs to do some investigation into that.
Reporting?
Yeah.
All right.
Live from Walt Disney World. Why are the monorails smelling like horse farms when you get on and off of them?
All right. One thing we didn't do this trip, because
did you notice that too?
I did. Yeah. I don't necessarily know if I really want to talk about it.
The funniest thing ever. Some guy. It must have been his first time on the monorail, because he gets on the monorail and like he gets on, the doors close behind him, and he just like looks at his wife. And he had this face like you knew he just smelt something for the first time, and the face that he made. Oh my God, I almost died laughing.
I feel like that smell has been there for like a few years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need some Febreze or something.
They might be transporting the horses. I don't know. Would be interesting to find out.
I mean, I'd like to see that if they do. At least let us watch it.
One thing I didn't get to do this trip that I talked a lot about prior to going was I did not get to ride the hot air balloon. It was too windy when we were there, so they didn't have it go up. And when they finally did have it go up, I actually have a picture of it kind of tilting at an angle. And after I saw that, I was like, no.
Yeah.
It was, right?
I was already out with no angle.
Well, after going on the Skyliner, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of grateful it was windy and I couldn't get on the hot air balloon. Like, I don't know. It was literally an angle. It's not a great picture, but you can see the angle.
There was definitely some tilt going on there.
I don't think I can handle it.
Which made me realize that my decision to not go on it was always a smart one.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. All right, things we learned on this trip. We're gonna go through them really quickly.
Super quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna announce the winner. real quick.
Before I start?
Before you get into that. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to mix it up.
I have like 7 things we learned. 1, 2,
What?
3, 4, 5, 6. 6 things we learned this trip.
Rapid fire them. All right, so here's the winner. So last week we said go leave a comment. What was the red and yellow pipes on the attraction Dinosaur for? And
I love that.
Yeah, it's a little bit Disney trivia.
Yeah, and I loved how some people wrote in about the white one, which was cool.
Yes, which I have a picture of. I took a picture of it overhead.
Yeah,
and there's no white pipe in sight there.
You didn't see it?
It
I
must
didn't
have
see
been
it
on the wall
either.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was for the formula for ketchup and mustard because McDonald's was the original sponsor of the dinosaur attraction.
Which I know.
Fun fact,
Okay.
the dinosaur restaurant that's right there apparently used to be a McDonald's
What?
when it first opened.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not like trying to promote McDonald's here,
Please
but like the chicken nuggies, my favorite. A white milkshake, a vanilla milkshake, and some chicken nuggies.
I'm deleting that right out of the podcast.
Okay, good.
All right, so here's the winner.
Yeah.
So you had to go leave the comment of what those were and leave it on our YouTube channel and subscribe as well. So we picked a random YouTube picker, and the winner is Team Elswick.
Ooh,
Congratulations. That's the only thing about YouTube is like sometimes it's not the name.
got it.
So Team Elswick, you are the winner. Thank you so much for participating. If you would email us info@unlockingthemagic.com and just put winner on there and leave us your size and color of the shirt that you would like, we'll get that right out to you.
Okay.
Congratulations, everybody. Stay tuned because at the end of the episode, we'll see how you can. I'm already thinking of what I'm going to do for the keyword or key phrase. I already kind of have one.
That makes me so nervous.
Why does it make you nervous?
When we don't talk about things before we start recording, because I know you don't edit anything out anymore.
That is also true.
So like I get really nervous about what you're gonna say. But okay.
All right, so real quick.
Rapid fire.
Real quick.
Do you think I can do rapid fire?
Want me to do it?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Things we learned. 1, if you lose an item, be sure to email Walt Disney World right away and add some details if you can, as many as you remember. They will update you and send you frequent reminders. We lost a hat in Hollywood Studios, and they were really great about keeping us informed.
By the way, if you have a brand new Walt Disney World hat that you found at Hollywood Studios, that was ours.
Thanks.
P.O. Box 82.
Can we get it back,
Yeah.
please? They have been updating us, though. They're looking for it. We bought a hat. This goes into my another thing. The weather in February, things I learned. Number 2, weather in February can go from warm, sunny, 80 degrees to freezing cold, raining, and windy. Be prepared and don't cheap out when packing before your trip, or you'll end up paying double in the parks for a hat, etc.
Yes.
I bought like a hat, and I almost bought gloves. I mean, we were desperate.
No, you were. We were fine. You were desperate. You were on a spending spree. You're like, I'm going to buy a sweatshirt. I'm going to buy pants. I'm going to buy a jacket. Do you guys have snowsuits here? Where can I get some skis?
We already knew this tip, and we've talked about it before multiple times on the show about how to prepare for January, February weather. It can go really hot to really, really cold. But we flew in an inexpensive airline, and unfortunately, those airlines, the way they make their money is by baggage fees. So I was really hoping to. I guess that would be my tip. If you're flying an inexpensive, bargain, whatever, just don't do it February and November where the weather can get so crazy that you have to park a lot. Because guess what? I paid more money on my accessories at Disney World than I would have paid on baggage fees.
All right, let's go.
Connie's a grouchy in bad weather.
That is also true.
Blue milk isn't our favorite, but probably tastes better when it's warm out.
Yeah, it's like eating ice cream in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Not great.
It was good, but it wasn't like.
It wasn't worth what they charged for it, first of all.
Well, I think because it was cold.
Maybe we'll have to go back there in the summer and check it out.
Yeah. Getting on Rise of Resistance is a whole process. Be prepared, or just be okay with not riding until your next visit. There are plenty of things to do at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, we have a pro and con for that.
Okay.
On the next show.
The Skyliner is a great addition to Walt Disney World. It's smooth and very efficient. However, we would not do well if we were riding with others since it's small. That's
Yes.
my takeaway.
And you can sneak Joffrey's on there.
Without sneaking.
I mean, I still like to feel like a rebel.
Oh, great. Perfect. And I'm just going to wrap it right there.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. By the way, all right, so here's what I'm thinking, Connie. What do you
I'm
think?
going to pay attention to this because last time I didn't pay attention. The hosts weren't listening.
Yeah, I threw a plug in there for something else. It was totally unintentional.
It was totally a random. Okay.
I mean, we should go say, well, that's what the phrase of the show should be.
Random?
What was the last week's key random phrase I threw in there without realizing it?
Oh, great.
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
Thank you to our sponsors, Kingdom Strollers, KingdomStrollers.com if you need a stroller rental when you're in the parks or at your resort. And also Joffrey's Coffee. Go check them out. You don't have to sneak them on to the people. Yes, you do have to sneak them on to the people mover, actually. But you don't have to sneak them on to the Skyliner.
I got in trouble for sneaking it on.
You don't know how to sneak it on very well. Joffreys.com.
Okay.
Definitely some coffee. I am going to email them. Oh, never mind. I will email them after the show.
Okay, why?
Because they may have some new products coming out.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that on a different episode. But if you want some coffee at home, definitely go check them out. And like I said, KingdomStrollers.com if you need a stroller rental.
All right.
By the way, I think my 2-zipper backpack movement is catching steam.
It is.
Because I was recording a video in Disneyland. We'll talk about that in the future. But they had a whole wall of backpacks with only 2 zippers.
It was pretty awesome. It was so awesome that you had to stop while we were in Disneyland to take a video.
I took a video of...
Hold up, guys. We're not going on Space Mountain. We're going to take a video
I got to see that Disney listens to the show. They did a promo video for Tonga Toast. And when have you ever seen a wall of backpacks at Disney?
I mean, it's been a while, I guess.
It's been about 6 months since the show we started talking about 2-zipper limits. So there you go. Stick to that.
Okay.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, the keyword for the phrase. I was trying to think of something over there. I knew I forgot something.
All right. By the way, you're wearing your new hat. That was your souvenir. You didn't get a mug this time, but you got a new hat. Did we talk about that already?
I got a new hat, yeah. So it says Mr. Toad's Auto Repair.
The best hat ever.
Yeah.
All right. God, sorry. Didn't mean to throw you off there.
I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you decide what your favorite attraction is and why in Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
And that's what your comment's going to be. Tell us, subscribe to the show on YouTube, like this video, and then leave us in the comments what your favorite attraction is at Hollywood Studios and why.
I like it.
A little bit different.
I like to read everyone's comments, too.
Next week we'll do trivia.
Perfect.
All right, follow us on Instagram, Unlocking the Magic Podcast, on Facebook, Unlocking the Magic. I recently updated the packing list over on the website.
Finally,
which
yes.
Connie did. So if you want to go grab the packing list, if you're listening to this podcast right now.
Got your makeup setting spray.
Yep.
Got your cooling towels.
Your 2-zipper backpack.
Yeah.
Cord, strap, backpack, whatever it is.
You can get that now, updated version.
Yeah.
And
over at unlockingthemagic.com. And if you want to join on Patreon, we're going to be doing a lot of Patreon podcast episodes as well as a monthly live show inside of Patreon. Unlockingthemagic.com is where you can get information on how to join that.
Perfect.
All right, that's it. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.